Hi, I'm back, and I was just sitting here drinking my white chocolate mocha iced no whip with soy because lactose. And I was looking through my social media, and of course, I saw some Kaepernick articles, and I had to read them. Gotta look out for my people. And I also saw another new article about Marc Jacobs and his recent fashion show. Now, to fill you in quickly, he had a fashion show, and the theme was like color pop, platform, 70s, 80s, 90s, 90s rave culture realness, just really artsy or whatever. And that was his thing. It was very art, he wanted it to be different, wanted to be forward, and he dressed up all of his models, which were 90% white, of course, which is like the industry in general. We're slowly getting more diverse, but we're not there yet. Which is 90% white. They all had dreadlocks, colorful dreadlocks. That was the thing. Now, there was a big stir about, is this appropriating culture? Is this not? Is this just him being different? Is this him pushing the limits? Are you sure this isn't appropriating culture? I mean, it kind of seems like appropriating culture. We don't really know. I mean, it kind of seems like that, but there's no confirmation. And I have mixed feelings. I am on one end of the situation, I think, you know what, he was just really trying to step out of his box. He wanted to be different. He didn't want just a bland wig. He didn't want just the straight hair. He wanted something out of this world. But at the same time, like dreadlocks, you could have done any hairstyle. I mean, if you were gonna go with dreadlocks, you could have given like Becky G a neon bob. You could have given Linda like, China bangs with a asymmetrical fucking something. You can be different without taking some culture and making it your own, or at least not giving credit where credit is due. So my thing was, you could have flipped it a couple of different ways to be able to use that hairstyle in your pieces. There are so many models out there that want to change. Okay, I'll be specific. There are so many black models, or, I'm gonna use black. There's so many black models out there that want the opportunity, and they have so much potential. You could have all given them that hairstyle and put them out there, and that would have just ended the game. Like, I could just picture that. Just rainbow, just melanin, and that colorful yarn, whatever dreadlock situation they use with those platform shoes and all of his pieces. The color against our skin would have just looked amazing. But, of course, he didn't choose that route, because why? He's probably a lot more stupid than we think. But anyways, he was interviewed about the whole situation, and where the controversy came from was when he said, well, this is what he basically said. It was like a quote in this little paragraph of his interview. He said, well, black girls straighten their hair, so what's the big deal? Is that not basically like, well, black girls straighten their hair, so why can't we wear dreadlocks? What? I'm like, sir, get a complimentary bagel and take multiple seats, because you're about to lose a lot of money. So, I don't even know where to start, really, because at this point, we only started straightening our hairs so we can assimilate with white culture and get a job, and not be at home and become targets for crazy white people that were trying to kill us. So, yeah, we wouldn't even straighten our hair if y'all didn't want us to look presentable, because our skin was already not work appropriate. So let me tell you, we started perming our hair back in the day, so that we can get jobs and we can feed our families and we could bring home people. Even guys are getting perms, which is, if you don't know what a fucking perm is, it chemically straightens our hair. For white people, it curls it. For black people, it straightens it. So we chemically started straightening our hair so we can, be productive. And over the years, it's evolved to wigs, sew-ins, tracks, you name it, we've done it. But take it way back, we had dreadlocks. That was our protective style. Dreadlocks, cornrows, twists. That is how we protected our hair from the sun. That is how we kept our roots, our edges. Okay, bitch? That's how we didn't go bald. You look back at old slave photos from, when they were being purchased, their hair was beautiful. Beautiful hair. Just all different textures, curl patterns, just different kinds. And no hair was the same. So I think when people are seeing this colorful dreadlocks just being used as like a fashion statement, oh, he's so different, like it's a little hurtful, because it's like, well, give credit where credit is due. He could have been like, well, I was inspired by the African American culture and what they do with the uniqueness of their hair, and I've turned that into this. They could have done that. He could have said that, and that would have saved him. That would have saved him and gained him so much popularity, so many fans, probably hella money too. But no, he's stupid as fuck. And he said, I don't see color, I see people. Bye. Just fucking take all the seats. Take all the seats, because at this point, we all see color. We're seeing color, okay? This is 2016. We got HD TV. We see all the color, okay? Freaking 4K TV, bitch. This is the best color you can get. All right, and everyone wants this color. Everyone wants this melanin, okay? Everybody wants it, but not everyone can have it. So I just disagree with him. I honestly feel like that wasn't right for him to respond like that. The hair isn't really the problem, it's him. The hair could be less of a problem. He just worded his excuse for using the style shitty. But he makes clothes. He doesn't do interviews for a living. Someone should have got his publicist and just drop kick him in the neck, because he could have saved his ass. I mean, if I was his publicist, I would have been fucking firing off at the fingers, been like, don't respond, don't say anything unless you know for a fact you're not going to be problematic. But what is he? Oh, I only see people, I don't see color. Get out of my fucking face with that shit. This is 2016. We see everybody, every color, every person, every gender, trans, queer, LGBTQIA, the whole fucking community, bitch. We see all of it. So we don't do that. Okay, that's no longer acceptable excuse for doing wrong. Moving on, next topic. They all kind of center around the same topic, which is like race and this whole problematic situation that America is going through. Kaepernick taking a knee, or sitting, I'm not sure, I don't know if he was sitting or taking a knee, but during the national anthem, that is still becoming a thing. I was just at Buffalo Wild Wings the other day, and this was all over like 3 different TVs in the restaurant, and I was like, what the fuck, why is this such a big deal? We live in a country, the free world, or we live in the free country where people have the choice to worship who they want to, talk how they want to, speak what language they want to, be who they want to be, and you're telling me that this person cannot peacefully protest and sit during the national anthem, which used to be sung, while African Americans were hanging from the tree after being lynched, burned, dipped in tar, and dragged by trucks, if not ripped apart. So, riddle me that, America. Like, riddle me this. I understand veterans can be a little pressed about the situation, but he's not disrespecting you. He's not saying that he dishonors veterans. He's not saying that y'all aren't doing anything for his country. He is seeing the wrong that is being done within America. He is seeing all of the black lives that are being killed, murdered, and executed in our streets, while the white law enforcement, or just law enforcement in general, are walking free and being paid out over 6 figures to live their life while they took one. So it's almost like, how many lives can we kill till we get paid out? It's almost like a game, you know, and at this point, you know, recently there was a 13-year-old who got shot for having a BB gun. Did they check? No. I understand. Well, it could have been a real gun. Well, he or she, I forgot if it was a boy or a girl, I know it was a child, he or she was 13, so I'm pretty sure you could have asked the child if it was a real gun, or just drop the gun, you know. If it was a freaking, it just could have been a different story, but the fact that it was a child is what bothers me the most. No mercy, no questions, nothing asked, just done. Meanwhile, a rapist is walking around free because, I don't even know why the fuck he's walking free, because he raped somebody. He raped someone without consent, took a piece of that person with them. And while people are getting, while black men are being charged years for drugs that are not having more than fucking half of this with weed, they're being years in prison. Meanwhile, you're out here raping women, and you can just go home and grab a Whataburger or Big Mac and go home and watch, you know, Law and Order and get to bed by 9:30 like a Caucasian. So it baffles me how they're making such a big deal. You know, his life is being threatened, his family is being threatened, his career was being threatened at one point, and I actually, a white soccer player on the women's U.S. team, I think, took a knee, and the U.S. like public relations department or whatever said that we will not have that. They will stand for the national anthem. Okay, fucking Korea, like chill the fuck out. You know, let us exercise our rights. We're not, the thing is, we're not being disrespectful. You know, this whole time they ask for us to be a peaceful protest. Don't burn down your neighborhood. You know, this is like, you know, Ferguson, I'll be honest, they got a little wild. They got a little crazy. People were looting and all that stuff. Did he loot? Did he wave a flag or anti all this, you know, anti-US? Did he do that? No. You know, he didn't do any of this. He was sitting down, peacefully protesting, which is what y'all, when I say y'all, I mean, which is what people have been begging to happen. You know, don't do this. Just peacefully protest. It'll be fine. You know, they won't bother you. I guess that's not true. Any person of color, minority, black, Hispanic, anybody that's not white, basically, that has a high standing power, that is in the spotlight a lot, when they do something, when they slip, when they bend the rules, literally, that's it. They'll come for you. They'll try to bash your name. They'll try to take anything you have, any sort of pride, any career, any money, shit. They'll just take it all if they can. But it's really up to you and the support that you give your people. And I think it's just kind of crazy. And I think that he had every right to fucking sit. And there are children out there watching him. And they are now looking up what's going on, which I think is great because they're trying to educate themselves on what's going on in this world. They need to know because their classmates are out there getting shot for having BB guns. I had a BB gun when I was young. Had a few actually. And now I'm like, I will never touch a gun. I will not carry a knife bigger than the one on my keys, which I don't have with me. It's this big. I will not show myself being a threat. Literally, probably walking out naked because that's the most you can do without getting shot. They don't know. Nowadays, they just see the color of the skin and they feel like you're a threat. So, it's kind of nice seeing that people are starting to educate themselves, but at the same time, it's scary because kids were not standing near the national anthem, and people were threatening to kill those kids and their families because they didn't stand. Now, I understand veterans, y'all do, you know, you fight for us. You fight for our country to be safe, but you also fight for us to have our rights. You also fight for us to express ourselves. So let us express ourselves. Just because it's not up to your standards does not mean that it's wrong. And I think that's the big issue. So I'm going to cut this video short because I'm already at about 13 minutes. But I wanted to make a quick video about that. You know, like, whatever, subscribe, comment. I don't even know if people even watch this shit. But I hope you do. And I hope you learn a little something. And I hope you go read a book. Because y'all fucking need it.